Okay, students, good afternoon. I think you had a nice lunch. And after lunch, we are going to discuss some technical terms today. I already shared with you what are the things we are going to discuss. And this is quite interesting in case of any international trade and business. But we are discussing in international marketing. When you want to fix the price of any product, you must know what is the transportation charges. Then only you are able to fix the price of any product, including the famous Amazon. In case of Amazon, even though they are giving the discount, the transportation charges has been fixed by them. Same thing, in case of international business, you must know what are all the things there in trading with other country, what are all the expenses, then only you are able to fix the price. So in this juncture, we are going to discuss the INCO terms. INCO means nothing, international commercial terms. I think you will also study some of the INCO terms in international business. And today we are going to discuss about the international commercial terms used in case of the most of the trade as well as marketing activity. Then in the second part, we are going to discuss about the export documentation. So once we discussed, I think today you are having the case study as a mini test. That is why I send every income times in advance. I will showcase around 10 items. You are going to tell me what are all the income terms relating to that paragraph. Okay. So be ready for that one. So in case of case study, today's your duty is only 10 words. I will showcase the next hour what are all the 10 identities. For that identities, you have to tell me the encode terms. So in your MS Word file, you have to write 1 to 10. Then what are all the encode terms relating to that one? That is the second part of the today's class. Okay. So if you want to understand the encode terms, first you must know the procedure involved in export trade. What are all the different formalities and documentation work involved in the export? That is a very important thing. So how we are going to discuss means first we will see in a graphical presentation what are all the process involved in export. Then we will see the encode terms. Then what are all the documentation purposes? Why you are studying this thing? To fix the pricing. Based upon this encode terms only, you are able to fix the price. That is why yesterday we have discussed in case of Harley Davidson, the prices in India is even higher than that of US because of this encode terms. Case of India, we are having more duty since Harley Davidson is coming under the luxurious segment. They are fixing heavy price for that one. So before moving to that one, we'll have one news based upon this international trade process. Here you can see the first time in case of India, Tata Steel is using the blockchain. And here we are going to discuss about the traditional method of picking the goods from the exporter, then how it is transported to importer, from importer, how he is going to market. That is the traditional strategy. But here you can see Tata Groups introduced the blockchain along with the HSBC Bank. That means for importing and exporting any goods for commercial production, or it may be the machinery or any asset, they clearly created a blockchain. The advantage of blockchain is you can see the original movement. They can't make anything in a bogus or fake one. Even if it is a fake one, we are able to see, because in case of blockchain, it contains the number of ledgers. If Cynthia is making a nice jewelry, then starting from the jewelry making, when she is purchasing the gold, when she is purchasing the diamond, when she is purchasing the additional parts which is fitting to the jewelry, all these things should be recorded. So when our Cynthia completed the manufacturing of the jewelry, a nice design, it will also come under the blockchain. So a person who wishes to buy the jewelry made by the Cynthia, they can easily know when Cynthia purchased the gold, when Cynthia purchased the diamond, when the process went on, how much gold kilogram or gram purchased by the Cynthia, what is the final weight of the gold jewelry. All these things will be entered in case of the block ledgers created under the blockchain. So that a person who is ready to buy the jewelry created by the Cynthia, they know everything. So nobody can cheat. That is the advantage of blockchain. Now this blockchain is going to be used in customs authority, so that easily moving of goods are happening. Now recently, in case of that Evergreen ship, when it was struck under the Suez Canal, the Suez Canal authorities are able to see what are all the things inside the container, from where it is coming and where it is going. They have not opened the containers. Without opening the container, they are able to tell what is the value of the goods inside that container. If anything goes wrong for that Evergreen ship in the Suez Canal, what will be the maximum loss? Everything they calculated. How it is possible? It is based upon this blockchain. All the products which are sent through this Evergreen ship, all the containers are loaded with the chip which clearly mention its temperature, what are the items inside, and what is its value, from where it is coming and to where it is going. All these things are noted clearly without opening the containers or without asking any question from the ship captain, especially for bill of lading. See that one. That is the advantage now. You can easily find out where you are. Okay, so that is the advantage at present. At present, most of them are using the blockchain for the purpose of export and import documentation. Let us see the story. If you want to export, or if you want to buy from somebody from Canada, what our Melvin told today, what are all the process involved in that one? First, you must know, then only you will know about the concept of these Incoterms. You can see in this diagram, it is a very big diagram. Of course, you can zoom it and find out from 1 to 18 process. Okay. If you are using your laptop or if you are using your mobile phone, zoom it and find out what are all the process involved in that one. Usually, the goods is moving from the importer to the importer from the exporter. The exporter is called the supplier, or the exporter is called as the seller. Importer is called as the buyer. Let us assume like that. Or exporter is considered as the supplier and the importer is the buyer. So what are all the transactions happening in this area? Our Cynthia created a nice gold jewelry and assume that she is now in Australia. Our Melvin is going to buy from Cynthia. Melvin is at present in Canada. So now Melvin identified Cynthia's nice jewelry. So Melvin decided to buy for his friends, maybe boyfriend or girlfriend. So what Melvin is deciding, he might have gone through the website of Cynthia's designing, and he may be attracted with the designs created by Cynthia. Because Cynthia created in the Australia a nice website. In that website, Cynthia posted the different designs of the jewelry. So our Melvin is very much attracted with that one. So Melvin decided to place the order with the Cynthia. Melvin is in Canada. Cynthia is in Australia, in Sydney. So what are all the things coming here? You can see that one. First case, the stage one, importer orders goods from a supplier. In our example, Melvin James is ordering goods from Cynthia. Then, once the order received from the Melvin, what Cynthia will do? Cynthia will quote the price to Melvin. So you can use the second stage. Pro forma invoice is provided. Cynthia will prepare a nice pro forma invoice which will mention about the gold jewelry type and its component. What is the jewelry? What is its price? And what is its price Cynthia is willing to sell to Melvin. That is how the second stage. That is called the pro forma invoice. Okay, now in third stage, Melvin received the quote from the Cynthia. So what Melvin will do? If Melvin is, okay, we have to buy this jewelry, Melvin decided because his friends are asking about this jewelry. So Melvin decided to give that nice jewelry as a birthday gift to his girlfriend in Canada. So what Melvin is now doing, since Melvin is attracted by the prices as well as by the jewelry, now Melvin is placing the purchase order. See that one. Melvin has to place the order. That is called the purchase order. Melvin is saying, I need around 1 kg of gold because we need a big jewelry for that person. So he may fix like that. 1 kg of the gold is not small one. Then, okay, once the order has been placed, now the Cynthia say, okay, I am ready to send you the jewelry. So what will happen? The buyer. Now, our Melvin will find out freight forwarder to handle the transporting of goods. Because Melvin has to decide in which source we can get the jewelry. That is important thing. Some cases Cynthia is as an international agent, means Cynthia herself will sell through the Amazon or like Flipkart or anything. But now it is not like that. There are more restrictions for jewelry in Canada. So what Melvin is doing, Melvin is approaching a freight forwarder. Freight forwarder means an agent who is ready to take the risk of transporting the jewelry from Australia to Canada. Because Melvin doesn't know all these things. That is why he is approaching the freight forwarder. Freight forwarder is the person who will make the arrangements for getting back the goods. In our example, a freight forwarder is a person who will get the goods from Cynthia's factory in Sydney in Australia, and he will make all the arrangements to bring the same jewelry to Canada, maybe in Toronto. So that is how Melvin has to say, Cynthia won't fix. If Cynthia agrees that, don't worry, Melvin, I am going to send the goods to your doorstep, means this job will be done by the Cynthia. That is why we are going to discuss all this term in Incoterms. What is mentioned in the order is very important thing. Okay. So now what Melvin is doing, Melvin is thinking and he is approaching a freight forwarder. Okay. The freight forwarder may be Vijay Krishna. So Vijay, now Melvin is approaching Vijay Krishna and Vijay Krishna is saying that, don't worry, Melvin, I will take the risk of goods from the Cynthia to you. And now Melvin is going to fix the terms and conditions. Be clear. Melvin will meet Cynthia and he will negotiate. You are fixing the price for your jewelry around 28 lakhs. Whether this 28 lakhs includes the cost of transportation or whether the price includes only at Sydney. Because if you want to bring the jewelry from Sydney to Toronto, there are a number of costs involving. Customs duty may be there and transporting. Since it is a gold, it is very tough. We have to give more responsibility. So now the Vijay Krishna is dealing with Cynthia. And they may agree. Okay, Cynthia will agree since it is a huge value. I will go for FOB pricing, free on board. That is FOB is the Incoterm. Be clear. Cynthia will negotiate with Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna, I am going to send to Melvin. I accept. You are the freight forwarder as informed by the Melvin. So I will fix it FOB. FOB means Cynthia is going to take the, are ready to take the payment of transporting the goods from Sydney to Canada. That is the Cynthia's role. At the same time, Cynthia says, no, Mr. Vijay Krishna, I am going to fix a CIF. CIF, no, cost, insurance, and freight. Cynthia will pay the insurance and freight charges. Remaining things should be taken over by the Melvin. So that is the terms now. This Incoterms is coming here. The freight forwarder and the seller. He has to bargain between the buyer and seller. In our example, Vijay Krishna is a person who is a professional person who knows about the Incoterms, so that he is negotiating between Cynthia and Melvin. Okay. Then comes to the sixth stage. You can see that one. The buyer obtains a letter of credit from the bank to pay for the goods. In our example, Melvin is getting the letter of credit from a bank in Canada. That is very important thing. Because India may not know about the Melvin, whether the Melvin will pay for the jewelry because it comes around 28 lakhs. So whether Melvin is ready to pay 28 lakhs, whether he is having the capacity to pay 28 lakhs, maybe in terms of dollar, maybe different. Australian dollar is different, Canada dollar is different. So you can see how India will believe the Melvin. That is very important. That is why Melvin is saying that don't worry, India. I will produce a letter from my bank mentioning about the credit worthiness. So Melvin will approach the bank in Canada. Maybe that branch is having some linkage with the Sydney. Maybe the ANZ Greenlace Bank. It is having office in Canada also. So Melvin is approaching ANZ Greenlace Bank and is demanding letter of credit. Then what ANZ Greenlace Bank will do? They will see the account balance of the Melvin, how much the trade is going on between Melvin. They will see, oh, last 2 times Melvin purchased for 1 crores, 2 crores, and he is a very good businessman dealing in the diamonds, gold, platinums, all these things. If the bank satisfied, Melvin is having a good amount with him, the bank, ANZ Greenlace Bank, will issue the letter of credit. Once the letter of credit is given by the ANZ Greenlace Bank to Melvin, now the Melvin will send that letter to Scindia. You can see the stage 7. The supplier bank approves the letter of credit. What Scindia will do? Scindia is already in Australia, so Scindia will submit that letter to her bank. Maybe Scindia is also engaged with the ANZ Greenlace Bank because that bank is from Australia. So ANZ itself means Australia and New Zealand Bank. So Scindia may have the account and Scindia will send to his branch in Sydney. So the banker will say that don't worry, Scindia, this Melvin is a very good person. He is a diamond merchant. He is dealing in crores and crores of rupees or in dollars. So definitely he will able to buy the jewelry from you. Okay, now Scindia is satisfied. Okay. So Melvin is having nice amount. He is a good person. Now Scindia is satisfied. So now it comes to the 8th stage. So what Scindia will do? Scindia will start manufacturing that jewelry. Because he might have shown a model jewelry to Melvin. So now Scindia is planning with a nice design what Melvin is saying according to the desire and wishes of the Melvin. Because now Scindia is somewhat satisfied. Scindia fixed the Incoterms with the Vijay Krishna. Scindia knows about the credit worthiness and money worthiness of the Melvin from the ANZ Greenlace Bank. So what happens now? Since Scindia is satisfied, she decided to design nice jewelry. Okay, that is the 8th stage. And once that process started, now Scindia will confirm the order to the Melvin. Melvin, I am confirming your order. by giving a commercial invoice. See the documents involved. Now only Scindia is accepting the purchase order created by the Melvin. And for the acceptance of this purchase order of the Melvin, Scindia is issuing commercial invoice. But commercial invoice is not a legal document. We'll see later on. Commercial invoice means she will quote the same price what is mentioned by the Melvin plus the Vijay Krishna in quote tabs. All these things are quoted. We will see one sample today. I will show in the PPT how a commercial invoice is created. So once the commercial invoice is created, and Scindia will send. What happened next stage? Now, Scindia completes the manufacturing. Scindia designed a nice jewelry. Since Scindia designed a nice jewelry, Scindia is saying, okay, now I am ready to transport. So what Scindia will now do? Scindia will contact the Vijay Krishna because our Melvin appointed Vijay Krishna as the freight forwarder. Be clear. Scindia won't call the Melvin hereafter. Scindia will call the Vijay Krishna. Mr. Vijay Krishna, I have completed my production and it is ready for transporting. So he will inform to the Vijay Krishna that, okay, you can make arrangements to take the jewelry from Sydney and pass on to Canada. Now the goods are in the possession of the Vijay Krishna. But remember that Vijay Krishna is not considered as an agent. He is considered as a freight forwarder. Be clear. You must know what is the role of Vijay Krishna here. Vijay Krishna is the freight forwarder. He is making the arrangements to take the jewelry from Scindia and give the jewelry to Melvin. For that purpose, he is charging. And once informed, once again in 11th stage, the agent contacts the supplier locally. Vijay Krishna's person will inform the Scindia, okay, we are coming and ready and we are going to pick up the jewelry from you. So when Vijay Krishna or his agents are coming, now the supplier, that is Scindia, provides all the documents necessary for the export, which will be given to the freight forwarder. But it is addressed to Melvin. Even though it is addressed to Melvin, it is given to the Vijay Krishna because Vijay Krishna is acting as a freight forwarder. Be clear. So now Scindia role is handling the product and handling the documents, a commercial invoice. Of course, we are going to see the bill of lading later on. Main documents to the Vijay Krishna, the freight forwarder. Coming to the 13th stage. With the documentation in order, the supplier books the shipment. Of course, it depends upon the Incoterm who is going to pay. Once the document is coming to the Vijay Krishna, Scindia is ready to ship for the export. So now Vijay Krishna has taken over the possession of the jewelry designed by the Scindia. Okay, coming to the 14th stage. Now a carrier is coming to pick up the goods with the Scindia's warehouse, Scindia's factory, or Scindia is having a nice warehouse in Sydney. So in Sydney, the Vijay Krishna carrier is coming. So once the carrier is coming, Scindia will prepare the bill of lading. Very, very important document. This is the legal document. You must know that one. Bill of lading means Scindia is handling over the goods along with the possession of the goods. This is mentioned in the bill of lading. This is a legal document. That means that now the ownership of the goods vested with the Vijay Krishna. So anything happens, Vijay Krishna is liable. If it passed through Suez Canal and like our evergreen ship, something happened, only Vijay Krishna is liable. In our example, of course, that is the role of freight forwarders. They have to design well. So when the carrier arrives, now the legal document is produced and handed over to the Vijay Krishna. That is the bill of lading. Okay, now coming to the 15th stage. Scindia hand over all the bill of lading and she mentioned the ownership. Now Vijay Krishna is taking over. He is identifying the either airway or he's going to send to ships. It depends upon the Vijay Krishna. So now Vijay Krishna will ask the Scindia about the customs clearance. And if, as per the Incoterms, the custom clearance is done by Melvin in Canada, then now Vijay Krishna will contact the Melvin. Mr. Melvin, the products arrived in Canada. Now you have to pay the customs duty, whether you are paying or not. So he as per the Incoterms, we'll see that Incoterms. As per the Incoterms, if the buyer has to pay, then Melvin has to pay. If the freight forwarder has to pay, then Vijay Krishna will pay. So now our Melvin has to make the customs clearance. Once the custom has been cleared, Vijay Krishna complete the export declaration. And the goods will be then given to the Melvin in the 17th stage. Of course, it depends upon the Melvin. He may take in transit with the flight or any other purpose. Once the customs duty and transit bill has been cleared, in last stage, Melvin will receive the jewelry. That's all. Now, Melvin has to pay the amount to the Scindia. Maybe some cases, once the payment has been made, then only Scindia will make. If the Melvin fails to pay, the ANZ Greenlace Bank will pay to Scindia. That is very important. You must know that one also. Because the guarantee is given by the ANZ Greenlace Bank to Scindia, mentioning that if Melvin fails to pay, we will pay that amount. So what is the process then? All these documents, once customs is cleared, the document will go to the bank and bankers will say that, well, if you received, you have to pay. Melvin has to make the payment. If he is not making the payment, the ANZ Bank is in a position to pay the money to Scindia because that bank only given the letter of credit to Scindia. This is the procedure, both export and import. In our example, Scindia is the exporter and Melvin is the importer. Freight forwarder is the Vijay Krishna and letter of credit is issued by the Greenlace Bank, ANZ Greenlace Bank. You must know since Vijay Krishna is taking the freight forwarding role, we have not seen inside that one. That we'll say later on. So this is the export procedure. You must know. So you can see each and every stage, you must know how to market. Because any stage, if Melvin is frequently importing diamonds and jewelry from different countries, Melvin will directly ask Vijay Krishna, Vijay Krishna, who are all supplying the jewelries, gold, diamond, gems, all these things? Directly he will ask to Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna may be a marketer. Usually the business is done by the freight forwarders now. You know, in case of Bangalore, that sending the cut flowers from Bangalore to London, only these freight forwarders are knows clearly. Even the seller doesn't know where their cut flowers are going. Or Ujjaini is making nice cut flowers in home. She may export, but she is selling to somebody else. That's all. She may not know whether it is going to UK or not. But Ujjaini is having a nice idea to make the cut flowers in his home and with help of nice processing. But these freight forwarder roles are very, very important now. And these persons are taking the major role in the international trade. That is why when you want to market, your marketing strategy not only targets this importer, but also the intermediaries. The price involved in all these stages are put together. Then only it will come for the market. If Melvin decided to sell the jewelry designed by this India in his store in Canada, you might have seen what is the price Melvin will fix. He will find out all the charges in all these 20 stages. Then only Melvin will sell the goods from Canada. That is why the pricing include what are all the prices, what are all the expenses included in all these stages. That is very important. That is why you have to know what are all the process involved in exporting and importing. Okay, let us move on to the next stage. Yes, Mark, are you able to understand the story? Mark, you are there. Mark is sleeping. Jonah? What happened?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
In our example, who is the freight forwarder?
Vijay Krishna.
Are you 99 plus 2% sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yes, who are all other? Sashi, you are there? Sashi? What happened? Okay. Sanat? It's not there, huh? Then we'll ask Melvin.
Yes, sir.
Sanat is there. Okay, Sanat. Who will issue the letter of credit in our example? We have discussed the role of 3 or 4 person. Who issued the letter of credit? You can see in 6th stage. Whether Melvin issued or Vijay Krishna issued or ANZ Greenlace Bank issued or Scindia issued. Who issued the letter
Vijay
of
issued.
who?
Vijay issued.
Vijay issued. Vijay is the only freight forwarder. The banker has to issue. In our example, ANZ Greenlace Bank. This is the banker for Melvin as well as for this India. Okay, dear students, you must know all this concept. Then only you are able to go to the next stage. You'll go to the next stage of the story. Here I have quoted the another example in case of an government export. This is also a same story. In case of government also you will know the basic thing. Because in textile exports, some difference are there compared with the gold or any other product. Okay. Let us assume that here also two persons, our buyer and sellers are there. In our example, let us for this textile exports. The buyer is, let us assume Jubi. Jubi Ben is the buyer. And seller is Navinan. So Navinan is designing nice garments. Okay. So how Navinan and Jubi Beni will do their business? You can see first stage contacting with the buyer. Navinan will contact with Jubi Beni about the exports, because Navinan create a nice website. In that website, everything is there. Based upon that, Jubi Beni may accept, okay, these t-shirts are very nice. I am ready to buy these t-shirts in case of the US. What Jubi Beni is in US and our Navinan is in Philippines. Okay. But here, when Navinan decided to post all this advertisement, Jubi accepted. There are one person is coming, the garments merchandiser. Be clear. In case of previous example, we have seen the role of Vijay Krishna as freight forwarder. But here there's a technical expert is also involving here. The person who is connecting the buyer and seller, other than the freight forwarding, is called the merchandiser. Usually our Alison Babu may be the merchandiser. Alison Babu role is to connect the both buyer and seller with the technical terms, because Jubi Beni may not know about the technical terms involved in the garments. So what Jubi Beni will appoint, he will contact the merchandiser. So Alison Babu is the merchandiser, and he will contact the both Navinan and Jubi Beni. Be clear. Then the order collection. The garment merchandiser receive the garment orders from the buyer. So in our example, Alison Babu only get the order from the Jubi Beni, not the Navina. Be clear. That is why we are discussing the garment side. In case of garment side, we are having a person called merchandiser. Then what the Alison Babu will do, he will ask for a sample with Navina, because the designs of Navinan is very nice. Navinan used to create a different type of t-shirt with different shades or different images. So on behalf of Jubi Beni, Alison Babu will ask a sample. In case of jewelry, our buyer should not ask a sample. Melvin should not ask a sample from Cynthia, because the jewelry is too cost. But here it is not like that. A sample has been get from the Navinan by the Jubi Beni through the Alison, because Alison is the merchandiser. Then the sample will be approved. Okay. If Jubi Beni is satisfied with the sample given by the Navinan through the Alison, then she will, okay, this is good. Then the pricing will go on, costing. If the product sample is approved by the Alison Babu for the Navinan side, because Alison Babu is making an intermediate role between the Navinan and Jubi Beni, and he will discuss with the Navinan what will be the pricing. That is very important thing. Jubi Beni won't talk with the Navinan. Even though Jubi knows about the Navinan well, only Alison Babu will talk with the Navinan. He will discuss what will be the price. Once the price has been fixed, then the order will be confirmed. So Allison has to do that work, not Juby Benny. See that one. Then, as usual, procedure will start. He may appoint the freight forwarder, so that is the consumption. Then the fabric accessories booking will go on. Navinan will buy the fabrics and he start working. By the time the letter of credit will be opened by the Juby Benny with some other bank. And since these two persons are in different countries, they used to get the letter of credit. Once the letter of credit has been confirmed from any American bank in US, and our Navinan will get the same letter to the Philippines. In Philippines, in Manila, our Navinan will get back the letter of credit issued by the American bank, which is having the branch in Philippines. That is very important. That is the, once again. So our Allison will not involve in that one. This is the transaction between the Juby Benny Bank in US as well as the Navinan Bank in Philippines. Okay. Then the terms and conditions will be fixed by the Allison Babu. How you have to manufacture, how many quantities will be informed by the Allison Babu, and the pre-production meeting will be organized with the Allison Babu or with Juby Benny and Navinan. This is also possible. They may, because in case of garments, the designs are entirely different. They used to create that one. Then a pattern has been created. Then the production starts cutting. Once the production over, the numbering, bundling, sorting. In these stages, Allison Babu only involved, not Juby Benny. Till the production line setup, sewing, finishing. Okay. Once the product has been completed, then the Allison Babu will conduct a pre-final inspection of the goods. Whether the goods are according to the standard fixed by the Juby Benny, Allison Babu will go and find out. Once the Allison Babu find out, then he will inform the buyers, Juby Benny, for the final inspection. Juby Benny may appoint some other person to check whether it is correct or not. Once the inspection got over, then only the freight forwarder come into this scenario, ready for shipment. Okay, that is the main difference in case of the garment manufacturing with other thing. In case of first example, there is no merchandiser. There is no technical persons. But in case of the garments or any other product like equivalent to garments, that's a person called merchandiser. Okay. So once merchandiser is satisfied, then the export process will come. Inspection, packing, and see the delivery of the stuffing and sealing in the container. These are all done by the freight forwarder. That is how Vijay Krishna will do all this export logistics. He will create a container, stuffing, sealing. Then he used to transfer to the shipment to the harbor or in airways or any harbor port. Sixth one, then seventh one, when it comes to the port, Vijay Krishna's duty is to get the customs clearance. And Vijay Krishna should pay the amount for the dues on behalf of the Navinan. Then the documents are handed over to the captain of the ship. Remember that, including the bill of lading. Because once the bill of lading is handed over, he is the person who is the owner of the goods. If Vijay Krishna handed over the bill of lading to the ship owner is considered as the possession of the goods. Then it goes to the origin. sorry, destination. The goods depart from the point of origin and it goes to the departure place. This work is done by the Vijay Krishna. So you must know all these things, export logistics process. Who is the buyer? Who is the seller? What are all the stages involved in that one? Then another one, now there is one coding system called HSN coding, which means that harmonized coding system. As per this thing, all the product is having the code words as per the World Customs Organization. I am given a sample code words. You can see that one for the onions. If you are exporting the onion, what is the HSN coding system? First is 07, which refers to the vegetables. 03 is the heading for the fresh or chilled products. Then 10 refers to the onions or shallots. Then another 10 refers to the exact onions. There may be different type of onions. So this is the HSN coding used in exports. That means you must know the process here. You can't write the onions directly. Even though you are mentioning onion, you have to refer the HSN coding system and mention the code number for the product. That is quite important. Okay. Now it comes to the Incoterms. Okay. Okay, 5 minutes is there. We'll discuss the Incoterms so that you will be ready for the Incoterms for the next class. Okay. So for the fixing these rules and regulations between the exporter and importer, they introduced the concept of Incoterms, international commercial terms. As per this international commercial terms, it was introduced in the year 1923. ICC, International Chamber of Commerce, actually, they introduced the first guidelines in the year 1923, then the second Incoterms in 1928. In 1936 only it is legally published. Then in 1953, they introduced the non-maritime also. Till 1952, we were having the Incoterms for marine, that is ships only, vessels. In 1953, it introduced the customs as well as the Incoterms for the non-marine, especially traveling in trains, because in case of European countries, most of the goods are traveled within the European countries by train. 1967, it introduced for the destination country also. Both supplying country and destination country has been linked. In 1976, they introduced the rule for the free on board in air transport, flight rules. In 1980, it introduced the Incoterms for the container movements. 1990, it is a full-fledged one. Electronic transactions have been introduced. In 2000, they introduced the electronic transaction plus a new method called free carrier, which is making the delivery easy. If you know that everything is clearly done, then it is okay. It will pass through the green channel. In 2010, the present rules have been introduced, which are using mostly now. That is inclusion of the transport, whatever the mode of transport, you can use this Incoterm. Now 2020, that we have discussed in the news, in December, they introduced the Incoterms for the blockchain. That is why Tata groups are moving towards the blockchain. See that one. How they created the Incoterms. Okay. Now the Incoterms are in your hands, all these things. I hope you might have already gone through this Incoterms. Okay. Same thing I'm displaying here. This introduced by the International Chamber of Commerce. It includes number of terms. EXW, that means X work. X work means in our example, Scindia will manufacture and keep it in his warehouse. After that, whatever the charges, Melvin has to take over. That is the X work. FCA means free carrier, free and carrier unloaded at the seller's dock. So that is, she will send up to the shipment. After that, Melvin has to take. Free alongside means it is in the ocean port of shipment. The seller delivers when the goods are placed alongside the vessel. That means that in our example, Scindia will deliver the goods till the port of Scindia, Sydney port. Scindia will give. After the Sydney port, it is the duty of the Melvin to get back in Canada. Free on board means till it reaches the Melvin place is the free on board. CFR, the price includes the cost freight. What are all the cost of the goods, and the freight means transport. CIF means it includes the cost, insurance and freight. CPT means the carriage paid up to the particular port. Scindia may mention that CPT to Mumbai. That means the goods carriage freight charges are paid up to Mumbai. After that, it is duty of the Melvin. CIP2, same thing. Carriage and insurance paid to which port? Up to Chicago. Means after that, Melvin has to take over that one. Likewise, DAF. Once the goods arrive to the Melvin, delivered at frontier. It means the which place Scindia will deliver that one. That is delivered at the frontier. DES, delivered ex ship means the goods will come to the Melvin's place, that is up to the shipment. It is the duty of the Melvin to unload and take to home. DEQ means delivered XQ. It means that Scindia will send to Melvin. Now it moves in ships. The goods has been unloaded, but it is not cleared for the customs. Melvin has to go to the port. He has to clear the customs, and then only he can take back that one. DDU, delivered duty unpaid. That means duty has not been paid, so Melvin has to pay the duty and unload that one. DDP, delivered duty paid. That means all the duty has been paid. Only thing Melvin has to unload and take back. These are all the terms we are using in case of the INCO, that is International Commercial Terms. And I think we'll sum up with that one. We'll have a 15 minutes coffee break. After that, we'll discuss the meaning in a different sense. Then we'll go for the case with answers. Okay. Have a nice coffee break. We'll meet after the coffee break. Bye.